International Sustainable Tourism Certifications and European Standards. Sustainable tourism is a global necessity, addressing the need to balance the growth of the tourism industry with environmental conservation, cultural preservation, and community well-being. International certifications and European standards provide vital frameworks for ensuring that tourism develops responsibly, benefiting destinations, businesses, and travelers alike. This session explores some of the most recognized sustainable tourism certifications, such as the Green Key Label, EarthCheck, and the GSTC certification, which evaluate destinations and businesses on environmental, social, and cultural sustainability. It also delves into European regulations like the Green Deal and the Environmental Impact Assessment Directive, which guide sustainable practices within the tourism sector. By understanding these certifications and standards, we can see how they promote accountability, enhance reputations, and encourage eco-friendly practices across the industry. Join us as we explore how these tools shape a responsible and resilient tourism model that respects the planet and empowers host communities.
International certifications are recognition programs that evaluate destinations and businesses based on sustainability standards, focusing on environmental management, social responsibility, and cultural preservation. International Sustainable Tourism Certifications are evaluation and recognition programs that certify that destinations and tourism businesses meet high sustainability standards in key areas like environmental management, social and economic responsibility, and cultural conservation. These certifications help ensure that tourism develops in a way that minimizes negative environmental impacts, respects local communities, and promotes responsible business practices. Among the most recognized certifications are the Green Key Label, EarthCheck, and GSTC certification, each with its own criteria and evaluation processes. Tourism certifications are essential tools for promoting sustainability. They evaluate destinations and businesses based on their environmental, social, and cultural practices. By meeting these standards, certified entities demonstrate their commitment to responsible tourism, ensuring minimal negative impacts while maximizing positive contributions. Green Key Label is one of the most widely recognized certifications in the tourism sector, focusing on environmental sustainability. It is mainly targeting to tourist accommodations like hotels, hostels, and campgrounds, requiring compliance with eco-friendly practices such as energy conservation, proper waste management, efficient water use, and the adoption of green policies in daily operations. EarthCheck is a certification system that evaluates the environmental performance of destinations and tourism businesses, providing a framework for continuous improvement in areas such as climate change, resource use, and biodiversity management. EarthCheck is used by companies of all sizes and by tourism destinations that seeks to reduce their environmental footprint and improve operational sustainability. GSTC certification, Global Sustainable Tourism Council, is another key international standard that sets sustainability criteria in tourism at a global level. This certification covers environmental, social, and cultural aspects, requiring policies that support biodiversity protection, respect for local communities, and promote economic and social benefits for residents. International certifications not only help to improve sustainable practices within the tourism sector, but also provide consumers a way to identify responsible and eco-friendly tourism options. These accreditations are powerful tools to promote global sustainable tourism and enhance the reputation of destinations and tourism businesses that obtain them. Blue Flag Label is an international certification awarded to beaches and marinas that meet high standards of environmental quality, safety, and services. This program, managed by the Foundation for Environmental Education, FEE, evaluates criteria like water quality, environmental management, safety, access to environmental information, and sustainability awareness. Earning the blue flag means that the beach or marina has adopted responsible practices in environmental protection, pollution reduction, and sustainable tourism promotion, serving as a quality symbol for tourists and a tool for continuous improvement for coastal destinations. Why are these certifications important? They promote eco-friendly practices across the tourism industry and help enhance the reputation of certified destinations and businesses. Moreover, they guide tourists toward responsible travel choices, ensuring their activities align with sustainability goals. Certifications ultimately help create a more ethical and eco-conscious tourism model. European sustainable tourism regulations are not consolidated into a single law or regulation, but are addressed through various EU directives, regulations, and strategies promoting environmental, economic, and social sustainability in the tourism sector. These are some key regulations. European Union Tourism Services Directive. The EU Tourism Services Directive 2006/123/EC aims to improve the functioning of the EU's internal market regarding tourism services, promoting the free movement of these services between member states. This directive establishes rules to facilitate the provision of tourism services, reduce administrative barriers, and promote fair competition within the sector. It also encourages transparency in the information provided to consumers, ensuring that tourists have access to clear data on offered services, such as booking conditions, prices, and suppliers' responsibilities. Regarding sustainability, the directive also recognizes the importance of integrating responsible and sustainable practices within tourism services, although it does not focus exclusively on environmental sustainability. It emphasizes that tourism businesses should comply with national regulations, promote high-quality services, and enhance consumer protection. Additionally, it contributes to a supportive environment for small and medium-sized tourism enterprises, enabling them to operate across the EU without unnecessary obstacles, which in turn can support more inclusive and responsible tourism in the European market. European Green Deal. The European Green Deal is an EU strategy aimed at transforming its economy to become more sustainable and reduce its net greenhouse gas emissions to zero by 2050. This plan covers areas such as energy, industry, agriculture, mobility, and biodiversity, aiming to decouple economic growth from the use of natural resources. Among its main goals are increasing the use of renewable energies, promoting the circular economy, reducing pollution, and protecting biodiversity, all while creating jobs and improving citizens' quality of life. To achieve these goals, the Green Deal proposes a combination of regulatory policies, financial incentives, and technological innovation. Through the Just Transition Fund, it seeks to support regions and sectors heavily reliant on fossil fuels, ensuring an inclusive transition that leaves no one behind. Additionally, the deal includes a strategy to boost energy efficiency and a border adjustment mechanism for high-carbon products, ensuring that European climate efforts remain competitive. Environmental Impact Assessment (EIA) Directive. The EU's Environmental Impact Assessment (EIA) Directive requires member states to evaluate the potential environmental effects of major public and private projects before they are authorized. This assessment helps to identify, prevent, and mitigate environmental impacts that may arise, ensuring that issues such as pollution, biodiversity, water resources, and local community well-being are considered. The directive also allows for public participation, ensuring that citizens and other stakeholders can express their concerns before decisions are made. In the context of sustainable tourism, large-scale tourism developments must be assessed to understand and minimize their environmental impacts. This EU regulation requires a comprehensive analysis of potential impacts on ecosystems, landscapes, water resources, and local communities before any tourism development is approved. Thus, the EIA allows the consideration of design and location alternatives that can reduce environmental damage, promoting practices that make tourism activity compatible with nature conservation and social well-being. In tourism, the EIA also promotes public participation, enabling communities and stakeholders to express concerns about the impacts that new tourism infrastructure might have on their environment. This ensures that projects are not only environmentally responsible, but also socially inclusive, balancing tourism's economic development with environmental protection. Implementing this directive within the tourism sector contributes to a more sustainable tourism model that respects natural and cultural resources. Additionally, the EU supports sustainable tourism through funds like the European Regional Development Fund, ERDF, and the COSME program, which finance initiatives promoting responsible tourism and sustainable infrastructure in tourist destinations. European Regional Development Fund, ERDF. The ERDF supports sustainable tourism through investments that promote balanced regional development and sustainability in the EU. Its focus on sustainable tourism includes funding projects that improve tourism infrastructure, respect the environment, and diversify tourism offerings in disadvantaged or rural areas, thereby reducing pressure on saturated destinations. This fund finances initiatives that protect natural and cultural resources, improve energy efficiency in the sector, and strengthen the competitiveness of responsible tourism destinations. COSME program. Targeting support for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the EU, COSME encourages sustainable practices in the tourism sector, largely composed of SMEs. COSME promotes the development of new business models that integrate sustainability and innovation in tourism, as well as facilitating access to financing and improving entrepreneurs' training to implement greener practices. Through collaboration platforms and networks, COSME fosters cooperation among tourism SMEs to share experiences and promote ecotourism, cultural tourism, and other low-impact tourism modalities. Both ERDF and COSME contribute to creating sustainable tourism in Europe by supporting economic development in regions without compromising their natural and cultural environment. ERDF focuses on infrastructure and sustainable regional development, while COSME focuses on strengthening tourism SMEs' capacity to adopt sustainable practices. Together, they seek to balance tourism activity with resources preservation and quality of life improvements in host communities, laying a strong foundation for responsible tourism growth in the long term. All these regulations and strategies form a framework that encourages member states to implement sustainable policies and practices in the tourism sector, aligning tourism with the EU's sustainability and environmental protection goals. In various countries and regions, sustainable tourism is promoted through a combination of legislation, national strategies, and local support programs. Approaches range from environmental conservation to protecting local culture, supporting indigenous communities, and fostering sustainable regional economies. Each nation and region tailor its regulations to its specific resources. For example, some countries with high tourism activity have implemented laws to control visitor numbers in certain areas, regulate the use of natural resources, and protect their local cultures. Examples: Spain. Spain's Sustainable Tourism Strategy 2030 aims to transform the tourism sector into a more sustainable and resilient model, addressing challenges such as environmental preservation, social impact, and balanced economic development. This strategy prioritizes responsible management of natural and cultural resources, encourages innovation and digitalization to improve visitor experiences, and promotes a more equitable distribution of tourism's economic benefits across the country. Through collaboration between the government, local communities, and the private sector, Spain seeks to create a high-quality tourism model that contributes to both human well-being and environmental sustainability. Italy's sustainable tourism regulations focus on balanced tourism management and heritage protection. From national policies like the Strategic Tourism Plan to regional initiatives in specific destinations, Italy's approach to sustainable tourism aims to diversify tourism offerings and reduce impacts on high-value heritage areas. Through regulations, incentives, and the promotion of certifications, Italy is moving toward a tourism model that respects the environment and supports inclusive and responsible development. Costa Rica. Through the Sustainable Tourism Law, Costa Rica implemented the Certification for Sustainable Tourism CST, which evaluates and rates tourism businesses according on their environmental and social sustainability. This system encourages responsible practices in areas such as efficient use of resource, waste management, and respect for local communities. It also promotes biodiversity conservation through regulations limiting tourism in protected areas and penalizing activities that negatively affect natural environments. United States. The U.S. National Park Service has implemented strict regulations to minimize tourism impact on its national parks. For instance, in Yellowstone National Park, visitor numbers are controlled in sensitive areas, access is restricted in ecologically valuable zones, and the use of electric transportation is promoted to reduce carbon emissions. Additionally, visitors are educated on low-impact practices to ensure the preservation of these natural spaces. In conclusion, certifications and standards are vital for responsible tourism. They minimize environmental impacts, support local communities, and promote meaningful travel experiences. Collaboration between governments, businesses, and travelers is essential to balance tourism growth with environmental and cultural preservation. Together, we can ensure that tourism contributes positively to our planet and its people. Thank you for your time.